Hello everybody, Jean back with more Mars anomalies, megalithic rings and wreckage east of Euripus Mons, part 2 of 3. And as always, you can find this information, images and links in my blog. I'll include the link to this article in the video description below. And the photograph we're analyzing is this HiRISE photograph taken on the 27th of October 2007 at 25 centimeters per pixel, and I'm showing you images cropped from the black and white map projected JP2. And in this part 2, we're looking at the middle third of this HiRISE photograph, and I'll be showing you anomalies I discovered in this band. And this HiRISE photograph was taken in an area between this huge crater and these hills over there, and that's the band we're analyzing running through the center of that HiRISE. So the first anomaly we're looking at is another huge, what looks like a megalithic slab, maybe two. There's two parts to it possibly, and it's about 18 meters wide. So check that out. In the center we've got what looks like a hole, and then this ridge line running through there makes me think that this might be two interlocking parts. I'm not sure, but also rather strange to see that hole right in the center there. And we're looking at that strange V-shaped object in that area of the photograph. And check that out. That's about 3 meters per side. But look at that perfect V-shape. And it's standing on top of this rectangular piece, partially buried in sand. There we've got another one of these small spherical domes or spheres, about 1.5 meters in diameter. This looks like a rectangular opening, this rounded piece sticking out. We're checking out this huge anomaly in the center of this image, and it's about 25 meters across. Straight sides, check that out. A right angle there. That looks like a little dome-like feature or knob in the one corner. And this piece looks almost convex in shape, almost like a metal plate perhaps. But this gap between these two objects is huge. Be able to walk through there with ease. I'd say that's about 2 meters across. That gap is what looks like another metallic object lying over there. These straight sides, edges on that one. We're checking out the anomalies here to the bottom right. And look at this unusual anomaly here with that rectangular slot or opening there. These look like two little winglets. Could that possibly be a crashed craft? Some wreckage. Check out this unusual object over here. Got a straight edge, and there's a right angle, and then a well-defined edge running through there. We've got a rounded corner to the top right over here. Another rectangular slot or opening. Looks like this could be bent down at a right angle there. This block over here also looks rather unusual. This elliptical shape to it. Also convex. Could this be wreckage, partially buried wreckage? This huge object, it's about 22 meters long, almost as big as or bigger than the pregnant woman of Baalbek in Lebanon. I'm sure you guys have seen that photograph. I have featured that in previous videos, so check out this strange shape or geometry as well. Got a rectangular piece here to the right, and then a circular piece to the left. Rather unusual shape, and it looks artificial to me. So let me know what you guys and girls make of these anomalies. Could these be ruins, megalithic blocks, wreckage, destroyed machinery, tech? You're looking at these anomalies, top left. Check out this piece, and right in the center, we've got that, what looks like an opening or a hole, almost a rectangular hole. On this block, with that V shape carved into it on this one side, has a perfect hole right there in the center as well. And then it looks as if this is also some sort of V shape as well on this one side. So we're looking at another area in this photograph. Let me just find it quickly. So many anomalies here. Where on earth is that? There, right there. You have this strange dark area. It looks as if there's multiple objects that interlock together. This be a type of an opening that's covered in sand. Checking out this huge slab or block, and that's about 8 to 10 meters across, and on top we've got two smaller features or knobs, and then a hole there right in the center line as well. So we're looking at these anomalies. And this looks like a huge object that's partially buried in sand. This piece sticking out here. Then it might run underneath this rectangular object, come out there. Check out this piece as well, straight edges. And there's definitely some geometry in this. Another strange looking block, perhaps in the top right. So we're looking at this anomaly, about 15 meters across, and what my attention was this strange geometry, that line running through there. Then this rounded part to the one side. This looks like a 90-degree angle here. Funny rounded V shape coming off this one side. and then on top either an oblong dome-like feature or an opening here, like a vent, and there too it looks like a flattened oblong feature as well. And this totally out of place object that's about 12 meters across. Check out the straight edges or sides, right angles. This looks like a piece of wreckage, some type of partially buried machine. But look at that rectangular opening there. And then these two smaller parts, I don't know what they could be. So do let me know in the comments below what you think of these anomalies, specifically this one. It doesn't look like Lobate Crater Ejecta to me. This looks like some type of wreckage, craft, maybe even a type of a machine. I don't think nature makes those right angle shapes, so yeah, not so many at least. So let's check out these anomalies. That's about 10 meters across from there to there. We got this dark feature or hole in the center of this object. Almost looks like some buried megalithic slabs. All part of destroyed structures, buildings. We're checking out these. This oblong object is about, let's see, 22 meters long. Convex shapes, both of them. You got the straight line running through here, right angle there, perfect hole in this one side there as well, another hole of the same diameter in this object there. So could these be from destroyed structures? Who knows, eh? And then we're looking at that anomaly, rectangular shape, straight edges, and these features or knobs arranged in a circular pattern around this center object there. And this part sticking out here also has a little dome-like feature or knob right in its center as well. That perfect flat side on that block. We're looking at these anomalies. That's also about 22 meters across. So I'd love to stay next to these things and check them out up close. So check out this carved out area here. It seems to run underneath this darker piece and come out there. Or is this one piece just covered in sand or dust over here? Shape of that looked a bit irregular as well. And another triangular object here with a little hole in the center as well. Check out the huge object over there. It's about 25, between 22 and 25 meters long. And that's it up close. So a convex shape, like a cylinder. But check out the straight edges there, right angle, nicely rounded corner, and then that weird V-shaped protrusion sticking out there, and that line continues on that side. So rather weird geometry in that object. And here we got, looks like a circular disc-like object with a V shape in the back. This looks like it could have been metallic as well, crumpled up, or it could be a destroyed piece of sculpture, who knows. Look at the intricate ridge lines and things running through this thing. And then here in the center of this one side, you've got like a pyramidal feature or knob. Even that there looks rather out of place. Got some perfect symmetry in that shape. Now we're checking out, just get my bearings quickly. This area of the photograph over there. Convex shaped rectangular piece. And that looks rather odd, that shape. Check out this huge artifact in the center of the screen, which is about 15 to 12 meters across. So perfect symmetry with these two dark spots on either side of the center line. Very similar to other objects I've shown you in previous videos. And check out this, it looks like two windows in this object. Otherwise it's a carved out Y symbol. This looks like a Y symbol on its side. Even that there looks like some ornate carving. And yeah, another straight edge running through there. This sticking out, could that be ventilation system or an opening? Could this be a type of little shelter or like an outpost? Checking out these anomalies to the top of the center, and this object over there got my attention. Check out the symmetry in this design. Got these two sides, and then that sort of cylindrical piece running through the center, and then two look like ventilations on either side of the center line. Could that be some type of craft? You get this rectangular piece sticking out, and there we've got a dome-like feature next to it. Also looks like a metallic plate. These straight edges right angle, another convex rectangular object there to the left. Here we got another feature or knob on the semicircular object. Got some arrangement of these smaller features around this knob. Check that out. Another one of these objects that looks almost like a type of an outpost or shelter. This opening over here, and this rounded spherical dome-like shape sticking out there, and then on top, arranged in a semicircular pattern, some equally sized parts. Check that out. And it looks as if it's definitely coming up out of the surface, bent up at an angle. What could this be? That's about, let's see, 18 meters across, partially buried slab. Check out the two smaller features or knobs. On that one side, here we got three arranged in a pyramidal or triangular pattern through the center line, and in this piece over here looks like a rectangular side, this rounded design to it, and then an opening that looks like a type of an opening perhaps. So, don't know what that is. Sometimes I struggle to describe these things. Okay, totally out of place. Check out this one in the center of the screen. And that's about 12 meters across. So it looks like a sort of a convex shape. But look at this edge running through there. That'd be a type of a ventilation opening or hatch, who knows. Another out of place object. And this one's also about 12 meters long. That straight edge in this rounded part here. Also looks like a little pyramidal shape, the flat top or apex. More huge anomalies here. That arc running through there, and a hole right in the center of this line running through that side. Looks like an opening over here, and a V-shaped anomaly on the top. Little donut shaped piece that seems to be recessed, a little dome-like feature in the center, who knows. This also looks like an opening or a slot. Check that out. We've got this line running through there. Check at this rectangular piece sticking out over the edge. There's another dome-like object there. Also looks like an opening on this one side there as well. That looks rather odd. Must be some type of hanger. We're checking out these anomalies. Now one of these rounded objects with smaller knobs or features arranged around the center object there. Check that out. This also looks rather strange with this rounded side, rectangular opening covered in sand perhaps. We've got a dome-like feature or sphere. Check out these huge blocks. That one's about 20 meters. So this one compares very favorably to the pregnant woman of Baalbek, Lemedon. Very similar in geometry and size and shape. So we're checking out these anomalies first. Also huge, 20 meters. The arrangement of these slabs. Another rounded object. This little dome-like feature. Looks like a hatch, who knows? So there, on the center of this object, you got that little triangular part. Looks like it could be an opening as well. Check out the shape of this piece. So now we're checking out this big block. That smooth surface. The side seems to be a little bit rougher, maybe eroded. We've got straight lines running through here, right angle there. These are huge. This one is about 20 meters, 22 meters. Checking out that anomaly to the top, and in the center, got a little dome-like feature or knob. Those anomalies, looks like this area has been carved out. The circular part sticking out. That there looks like either a hole or a small dome-like feature. In the center of this piece we've got a hole, and you can even see a line running through the center as well. And then on this one, this oblong dome-like feature or knob as well, right in the center. And this huge object looks like a carving, maybe part of a sculpture perhaps. And yeah, we're looking at this unusual object, the flat side over here, 90-degree angle, then it runs along that arc, and then on top it looks like another opening as well. So could this be another little shelter or type of a hanger, with this being the opening over here? And then this bright piece sticking out here, straight edges and right angles. This also looks like some type of machine or technology. And we've got a dome-like part in the center, what looks like a hole on the one side. And in front of it, this flat square plate with what looks like pipe features on it. That straight line running through the back over there. And this block to the one side, with this one side over here, slightly carved out. And then on the one side we've got 3 darker spots running through the center line. And check out this. We've got some arrangement of anomalies in this one. Straight line running through there. Look at the way these 3 objects have been placed in a row there. Next to it looks like a narrow rectangular object, but this here looks like some type of buried metal plate or wreckage. And this over here, could that be part of a destroyed machine? Another one of these rectangular slots, with a line running through there, 90-degree angles. Another slot on this one side, and it seems to be bent down and then out again, with a hole in this one piece. So another little shelter. These, more arrangement of objects, another line running through there, semicircular pattern there. We're checking out these. Check at that heart shape on this really weird object. Well-defined edges, rounded corner, seems to be bent down on this one side. Is that a hole that's been cut into that one side? Got 3 dark spots arranged in a little triangle as well. Square block over here, another rectangular one there, and on top of this weird object, also with like a rectangular slot there on this one side, we've got, looks like a little part, 3 parallel lines running through there. Could these be symbols, glyphs? Looks like a little dome-like feature in the center of that diamond shape, donut shape. Some design over there. This too has some design to it. This area may be being carved out. Let's get this. Looks like another metal plate. And straight edge running through there. this be Wreckage. Combination of Wreckage and megalithic blocks. We're checking out this area of the photograph, and specifically this block with the smooth surfaces and straight edges running through there. We're checking out the anomalies in the center of the screen again, and this part here with what looks like a small feature or knob on it, and this looks like an opening. Even this could be metal plate that's bent over, I'm not sure. On the shadow that's being cast, this looks like an opening. But let's quickly see how big this is. That's about 22 meters across, and that opening is about 3 meters wide. So this is also huge. Check it out, this object seems to fit into that area there on this larger piece, and that there too looks like some type of opening. So this convex circular shaped object is about 10 meters across, and on top of the surface you got look like 5 dome-like features or knobs arranged in a circular pattern. Here to the left, another one of these could be metallic plates. Check out that edge, bends down at a right angle. How many of these objects have these smaller knobs or features on them? Many right in the centers. A little village. So we're checking out these anomalies, and look at this dark, brighter I meant to say, part. So it seems to come along and bend down. This might be an opening over here, and then 2 darker features running through that center line. This is rather strange. Very flat, bright surface. And over here, another nice edge, and it bends down at the right angle over here. So like a type of an opening perhaps. And on the center of this object you've got a little dome-like feature or knob, as well as on that one. Just off the center. Looks like a little V shape. Now check out these. There's just so many. Okay, this object is located to the left, and that's about 22 meters long, and it's partially buried and covered in sand. So this piece sticking out, you can see some really weird geometry in this design with this rounded arc, and then this piece might be bending down, going in underneath this, not sure. And these anomalies, So this is about 12 to 15 meters across. Look at the symmetry and geometry of this piece, this bottom piece. And then this triangular part lying on top of it, maybe that's an opening as well. Check out the line running through here, and then in the center we've got that V shape sticking over the line. Check that out. Another one of these diamond shaped objects, multiple sides, a strange rectangular slot in the center of that, and then on top, right in the center, another, it looks like a little pyramidal feature or knob. Then off to the side, in that area that seems to be carved out, another spherical dome-like feature there. So this is about 25 to 20 meters. Looks like two metal plates layered on top of one another. Check out that, looks like an opening, definitely above the surface over here. And then this huge object, which is about 18 meters across. It's almost like a triangular shape with rounded corners, and then just off the center we've got these two semicircular features or knobs. Check out these anomalies, and more arrangement of objects over here. Got four of equally sized and shaped knobs or features across this larger plate-like object, all in a row, but equally spaced as well. Check that out. The triangular pyramidal feature or knob on this object, also in its center, and then this too, like a plectrum shaped, or hexagonal shaped, pardon me, hexagonal shaped object. What looks like an opening in the center, and then running along that line we've got more smaller parts. Check that out. And then this here seems to be slightly raised, smooth bright surface, and right there in the center line we've got a hole. Another one of these huge megalithic blocks. One's about 12 meters long, so totally out of place. Straight edges, right angles, and what looked like little features, symbols or glyphs on it. And then this piece next to it, got a broken off. Is that a piece that might have broken off? And then more of these objects tightly arranged next to one another. So what do we have here? More wreckage, metal plates, the well-defined edges. They look bent. Check this out as well. It looks like an opening. And in the center of this square piece, that looks like it could be either an indentation or that could be a dome-like part to it there. That looks like a little dome. Yeah, in the center of this object we've got an opening, or to the side we have a knob feature casting a shadow. Now let's quickly check. Those are about 22 meters long, so from that side to that side it's about 22 meters. Likewise with this one. Now these are huge. Top of a entranceway or hangar. Could that be an opening there? So on Google Earth Mars, quickly to recap, this is the North Pole, and along the North Pole we got this line, this northern hemisphere band, in which I found similar anomalies, and then through the equator, more of those anomalies, and these anomalies specifically around this southern band. These white lines link all these sites together. We've got this photograph was taken on this band, or the band as I call it, running through this middle third of the photograph. This is where all the anomalies are located that I showed you in this video. There's some of the previous anomalies I covered in part 1. Okay, so you can see it's between that crater and some small hills over here. Let's quickly measure how far it is from the crater rim. It's about 18 kilometers, and the crater ejecta goes to about 8 kilometers, so very interesting. And then on that line in Tikov, more of these megalithic blocks and slabs with holes in them, perfect circular holes, interlocking parts, more destroyed structures possibly there. And then to the right of this photograph, more metallic wreckage and megalithic blocks with holes in them, and small features and knobs on their centers. I think that concludes this video, part 2. Part 3 should follow quite shortly. I am quite pressed for time. With that said, thank you for watching this video. I know it was another very long one. I just have so many anomalies to show you guys and girls. But I have tried to keep these as short as possible, and that's why I split them into three videos. Now to my new subscribers, thank you for joining the channel. I hope you find it very interesting and entertaining. My regular subscribers and viewers, thank you for your support. I do appreciate it very much. I'll see you all in the next video.